Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jupiter James and this is Astro Motivation, where I awaken the astrologer within you and aim to give you a little inspiration and motivation per unique placement within your birth chart. You know, I really feel that before a time of iPhones and iPads and this and that, we were a culture and a society that were better able to look up at the stars and understand exactly where our dreams were and how to get them. And so if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get into it. Today I'm excited to be bringing you all the mid-month forecast for February of 2026, okay? This is going to be a very soul shifting and powerful moment within our sky in the mid-month of February. So I wanted to reserve this video for the time in which these transits will be transpiring in our sky. Okay, we've got a very incredible life-changing direction of the solar eclipse in Aquarius that is going to be happening for us, which is going to be really changing up our lives in certain areas, forcing us into our more authentic roles, our authentic titles, and our more authentic path and purpose in our lifetime. And this may bring about different, communities of friends, different people, different networks, different, just different motivations that stem from something a little bit more authentic within who you are, right? And this is going to be happening for different people in different areas of their life, of course. And then we also are going to be experiencing a Saturn conjunct Neptune transit, all right, that is going to be going into Aries within this mid-month in February 2026, which is also going to be bringing about a new story around your personal authority, your autonomy, what you want for yourself, your ability to, go after a little bit more of a spirited and spiritually aligned place in your life. I feel this is also going to be a little bit of a moment where it's not just going to impact February. That's the thing about this particular month, is that these transits will not just impact February, but these transits are going to impact the next 15 years of your life. So this is a very critical time, and I'm excited to be breaking down exactly what could be transpiring for you based on your rising sign. Okay, so I want you to first and foremost watch for your rising sign, and then if you choose, you can definitely watch for your sun and then your moon. But if you want the most accurate tell of what these soul shifting and life-changing directional transits are going to be offering you, definitely watch for your rising sign. Okay, tap the appropriate timestamps below and let's dive deep. Okay, for my Aries riser, suns and moons, this is going to be a critical time in your destiny and your life path and who you are and who you are becoming in February 2026, because you've got some very major transits happening within you. This is your moment, my Aries people, my Aries risers, Aries suns, Aries moons, okay? Because you've got some critical energy happening within your exact energy of Aries, okay? So first and foremost, for my Aries risers, do know that you are going to be experiencing the solar eclipse that is going to be happening on February 17th, okay? February 17th, this is going to be a little bit of an energy where the universe is going to force you a little bit along your path. This is going to be a time for you to forge new friendships, forge new long-term goals, long-term dreams for yourself, and that in and of itself may require you to immerse yourself into a new community of people or to set your sights on new goals and dreams for yourself. This is also going to be a time where you are needing to reset friendships, right? Resetting your long-term goals, reshaping what it is that you want for yourself. This is also going to be a time where you can find that income is coming from your audience or from the new path that you are carving forward within your friendships, or the people that you are building relationships with, or the new people that you want to immerse yourself into. So this is a time that if you are finding or have been finding that the friends, the community, the organization in which you have been a part of is no longer serving you, or it's no longer rightfully aligned to where you want to be in life or where you see yourself, the universe is going to come up and clean house. Okay, this is a time where the universe is going to force you down a new direction as far as it relates to who you are pandering to, who you are relating with, and the friends you call friends, okay? And I also feel like this is going to be a new vision for your future, I feel like, so I am rooting you on in that, all right? Don't be afraid of finding new people who reflect back to you what it is you want today. It's okay to outgrow communities, outgrow jobs, outgrow friends, outgrow what you've been doing. It's okay, all right? Now, also in this month of February 2026, do know that around February 13th, Saturn is going to go into your Aries first house, okay? And this is going to be a moment where you are going to be getting a little bit more serious about yourself, you know, getting a little bit more disciplined in what you show up for, who it is that you say you are. This is going to be a time where you are really, really going to be in for a serious identity upgrade, okay? This is where you're going to be standing up a little straighter, being a little bit more confident, being a little bit more serious about what it is that you want for yourself, who it is that you say you are, and that's going to require you to move in a different way, right? To shake and bake in a different kind of way based on who it is you say you are moving forward. So do expect a lot of change that's going to be happening for you with this Saturn transiting into the first house, and it's going to require you to be very serious, okay? To take yourself serious, right? To hold yourself accountable for who you are becoming or who you want to become. All right. And then later in the month, you are also then going to be having that Neptune transit to your first house, which is going to be helping you dissolve an old identity. Okay. It's going to be helping you feel a little bit more inspired, feeling a little bit more you know, spiritually aligned a little bit, right? You may find that you want to step into a little bit more of a soulfully aligned identity or direction in life. That may be a feel with this energy of Neptune going into the first house. Now, initially, there may also be this energy of feeling a bit lost or not really quite knowing how things are going to pan out. But as long as you keep up the discipline that Saturn is already implementing within your energy, within your first house, do know that it will solve itself, okay? Through hard work, through discipline, through taking yourself seriously, through holding yourself accountable, do know that that lost feeling will then turn into inspiration, and then it will turn into alignment, all right? So this is what's going to be happening for you, all right? This is really a time where you are meant to be becoming the authority of your own life at this point, all right? So this is quite a moment for you, all right? So I love to leave you with a little bit of a mantra, okay? Yours is going to be, I lead with courage and with clarity, all right? That's what's going to be your mantra for this month ahead. Let me know if there are any unique points or planets that are happening in your first house or your 11th house, because that will definitely alter this analysis just a tiny bit. And if you write that in the comments below, I'll write back to you specifically what this soul shifting February 2026 is going to be for you, all right? This is going to be a time of new chapters, new destinies, new direction, and for you specifically, a new sense of self, all right? So I'm rooting you on, all right? Take charge. Take life by the horns, which is what you are meant for, my Aries people who have that Aries energy, all right? So you take care and you be blessed. Bye. For my Taurus risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. I'm excited to be bringing you the mid-month focus for this month ahead, okay? So do know that you are going to be having some critical soul-shifting and life-directional transits that are going to be happening within your sky at this time. And as I said before, this isn't just going to impact February. Okay, this is going to impact February beyond for the next really like 15 years for you. So this is a very critical moment for you, and I want to prepare you forward for it, because what's shaping out in the sky right now is you being someone that is kind of preparing for long-term success behind the scenes, right? Right now is not the time for outward recognition or, you know, for outward acknowledgement or for your work to be seen outward in the world. This is a more like you are preparing and scheming and kind of in the lab behind closed doors, okay? And first and foremost, where that's going to take place for you is with this Saturn transiting into your Aries 12th house on February 13th, okay? This energy is going to cause for you to get a little bit more serious about your subconscious dealings, okay? You releasing old fears, letting go of old baggage, old stories, old timelines that have kind of kept you restricted or not as motivated or not as ambitious. This is a time where you are meant to release those stories, to release those timelines, to release that weight, that baggage. So Saturn is coming into your 12th house, which is going to be offering you the chance to kind of bow out, to rest, to heal, you know, to let some things go, to strengthen your spiritual connection at this time so that you can get ready for the long-term success that you are going to get ready to kind of start to work towards, okay? So this is what's going to be asked and offered to you at this time. It's really being call to you to get serious about your subconscious and your spiritual connection and your connection to you at a soul level, okay? And so if you got to get rid of things, if you got to go heal, if you got to hire a therapist, if you got to go travel for a little bit and get your mind right, do those things. And as I said before, this isn't just going to be a transit that happens in February. No, this happens in February, and this is going to be here for the next 3 years, okay? So This is a 3-year moment of healing, all right, of preparing behind closed doors, all right? Then you are going to be having this very, very life-changing and new chapter-filled type of transit of the solar eclipse in Aquarius, which is going to be forcing you a little bit down the path of authenticity within your career. This may be the time where you really start to step into a position in life where you are a little bit more authentic, right? If people aren't scratching their head at you right now and asking you, are you sure you want to go down that path, or that's what you want to do for work? If they aren't doing that for you at this time, I'd be very surprised. You know, this is going to be that time where you should be trying to get people to scratch their heads at you and wonder what's really going on with the Taurus riser. What's going on with my Taurus friend? What's going on with my Taurus riser friend? Because they're doing something different within their career, and I didn't even think that they had that in them. You know, this is going to be that moment. And with the solar eclipses, the powerful thing about a solar eclipse is that it does not ask for your opinion. It forces you down that path, all right? Through outside influences, through certain situations, it forces you down a new path, okay? So this is what's going to be seen during this solar eclipse in Aquarius in your 10th house, all right? This is going to be a new story, a new chapter around your career life, what it is you want to do, your particular reputation in the world, the public role or title that you carry, and this is going to be just a new professional chapter for you. All right, so this is what is to be seen. Now, last on the docket for you is Neptune is then going to join that Saturn in your 12th house around the 20th of February, and it's going to be increasing your intuition, increasing this already present sentiment around your ability to heal and to spiritually connect and to forge a better intuitive and spiritual world and life within yourself. And so this is going to be the time where you are going to find that you are going to become a little bit more, and potentially through the Saturn, what you're working hard on is going to be becoming a little bit more spiritually sound, a little bit more spiritually strengthened, I feel like. You know, Neptune is always at home in the 12th house, and so you might find that this brings spiritual clarity, right? This brings a little bit more peace within your subconscious or within your spiritual connection. This is a time where you may find that your intuition may increase as well, and that your spiritual boundaries may get a bit stronger, okay? So allow that during this time, okay? But you are really being asked at this time to ground your intuition a little bit more into reality, all right, through healing yourself, through, you know, the way you carry yourself, and so on and so forth, okay? But this is quite a critical February for you, right? That this mid-month forecast isn't just, you know, happening now, it's happening beyond, and this is going to be shaping out to who you become down the line, all right, for the next 15 years. So I'm wishing you all the best during this critical moment for you. So I am going to leave you with a little bit of a mantra for yourself, okay? Your mantra to align yourself to the story that is transpiring for you in February 2026 and beyond is, I trust in the work that is happening behind the scenes so that I can be successful in the future. Okay, this is going to be your mantra for February 2026 and beyond. Okay, so without further ado, I am wishing you all the best, much prosperity and abundance. You take care and be blessed. Bye. For my Gemini risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. I'm excited to be bringing you the mid-month focus for this month ahead. Now, as I said before, this isn't just some transits that are going to be transpiring and shaping up your February 2026. This is actually going to be a critical moment within your lifetime where these are some very powerful transits that are going to be affecting not only February, but the next 15 years ahead, okay? So this is a very critical time for you, and I want to prepare you for what is transpiring, because it looks like this is going to be a time where you are committing to a little bit of a future that truly excites you. And so in order for that to happen, there's little puzzle pieces that need to be put into place in order for you to have that happen for yourself, okay? So do know that the first thing that is going to be happening in mid-month, February 2026, is that Saturn is going to enter into Aries on February 13th in your 11th house of your wider networks, your friendships, your long-term goals and dreams. And this is going to be a time where you are needing to get a little bit more serious about who you show up for or what you show up for on a more community sense or friendship wise. You know, this is going to be a time where you are really trying to get serious about your goals, serious about your long-term dreams, your legacy, things of that nature are going to come up. But first, it starts with you kind of cleaning house and trimming the fat around your social networks, who you are around, you getting honest with yourself and saying, okay, is this the organization or the group of people or the group of friends that reflect back to me where I want to be in 10 years? If the answer is no, this is a time to trim the fat. This is a time to find yourself in a little bit more of a more aligned place and direction in that area of life. This is also can equally just be the time where you are waking up and saying, I got to get serious about my future. I can't just, float through life anymore. I have to get serious about where I want to be 10 years from now. Okay. So this is a time where you are meant to take leadership within your groups, towards your goals, towards your dreams, within your communities and amongst your networks. All right. Take up the responsibility at this time. And so that, you will find that in 3 years time, because as I said before, all of these transits that are happening now aren't just affecting February. They're going to affect you long term, and this Saturn is no different. Saturn moving into your 11th house is a 3-year journey now, okay? And so this is going to be a little bit of a 3-year story that is shaping out around your friendships, around who you pander to, around where you are putting your energy and your stock into, and you finding alignment amongst your community, your audience, the organizations in which you're around, the communities that you're around. This is a 3-year story, and should you do the work at this time to do that, you will find in about 3 years you will be in a whole new direction, a whole new place in life. After this 3 years is up, you will be rewarded by Saturn. Mark my words, okay? So do the work, okay? Now, the next very powerful transit that is going to be happening in your sky is going to be this reset of a solar eclipse happening in your Aquarius 9th house, okay? And this is going to be taking place on February 17th for you, all right? And this is going to be really reshaping your belief systems, your worldview, how you see the world, what your particular wisdom is, or what your particular form of spiritual connection is going to be reshaped at this time, okay? You might come to find that this is the time where the universe is going to put you down a new path around your particular philosophies, right? Something may happen, something may occur where you will find that, you know what, I don't want to take this major anymore. I don't really believe in this major, or, I've been working at this job, or I've been working at this this college course for a while, and I've come to find out that I am not passionate about this. I've only been doing this because I thought this would bring me money, or I thought that it would please the people around me, but really this isn't something that I'm authentically, passionate about anymore, and it's not something I particularly believe in, right? That may be some of the stories that are happening out there for a few of you, okay, where it's like this is the time for you to really step into your authentic philosophy, your authentic worldview, what it is you truly believe in the world, and you have to be okay with it being a little different than what it has been, or just being different completely. You stepping into more of an unconventional philosophy, an unconventional spiritual connection. This is that time for you. All right. So do know that a new story is being shaped out. And as I said before, the solar eclipse and eclipses in general do not look for your opinion. They don't ask questions. They just put you on that path, okay? So do expect for something to kind of jolt you in a new direction, okay? Or to shift you in a new direction without your permission, as far as it relates to your higher educational pursuits, foreign travel, relocation, your belief systems, how you see the world. This may be a very kind of world-shifting moment for you at this time, okay? But as long as you ride the wave with authenticity, right? As long as you are stepping into your most authentic thought process or your most authentic belief systems, do know that you will come out better on the other side of this, okay? So this is quite a new chapter for you. And then lastly, Neptune is only going to join that Saturn in your 11th house of Aries, which is going to be having you find that your dreams are taking on a little bit more of structure, right? You may also find that this is going to be a time where you are meant to take on a little bit more realistic goals or realistic dreams. You may find with that Neptune transiting into your Aries 11th house and it conjuncting Saturn that this is going to be the time where you are becoming a little bit more inspired, a little bit more like spiritually aligned with what it is you want for yourself in the future, or what it is you truly want within your friendships. And because Saturn is conjuncting with Neptune, this is going to be a time where you feel and are able to find the proper groups, the proper dreams, the proper networks that feel soulfully aligned, that feel spiritually aligned for yourself. And so that's going to be quite an exciting time for yourself, okay? So this is your February mid-month forecast. Okay, I really do hope that you gained something out of this. I would really love to leave you with a little bit of a mantra. Okay, your mantra is going to be, I build a future that is aligned with my truth. That is what is going to be on the cards for you. That's going to be your mantra. Also, let me know if there are any unique points or planets within your 9th house or within your 11th house. And if you write that in the comments below, I'll let you know exactly what could be transpiring for you in February 2026 and really beyond. Okay, so without further ado, I am wishing you all the best, much prosperity and abundance. Believe in yourself, okay, believe in your truth, and have that align with your friendships and what you put yourself out there for moving forward. Okay, you take care and be blessed. For my Cancer risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. I'm excited to be bringing you the mid-month forecast for this month ahead, okay? So this looks like quite a critical month for you because in your sky, do know that you've got some powerful transits happening right now. And these transits are not just going to affect February, they're really going to start to reshape the entire, next few years for yourself and beyond, right? You've got a Saturn going into Aries that's going to be there for the next 3 years, and then you've got a Saturn conjunct Neptune that's going to be there for the next 14 years, right? So this is going to be a very critical moment in February 2026. I'm excited to be really letting you know what to prepare for, okay? So let's go ahead and break everything down because this looks like a month for you that is going to be all about emotional and professional empowerment. This is a time where you are meant to really fortify your emotional well-being to get you ready to do what you need to do in your career, okay? And so there's going to be tiny little chess moves through the planets that are happening at this time that are going to be helping build that story, okay? So let's break these things down, okay? So with the Saturn in Aries, right? Saturn is going to transit into your Aries 10th house, all right? And this is the area of your career. And so this is going to be happening around February 13th, where this is going to be a time where you are needing to take responsibility of your career, to take responsibility of your legacy, to take responsibility of your ambitions forward, okay? This is a time for you to step into professional power, but it requires motivation, it requires action, it requires you to be bold, it requires you to be confident, And so this is a time where Saturn is coming in and saying, hey, knock, knock, we got to do it. We got to get up, we got to do it, and we got to put that brave face on, and we got to be bold. We got to show the world exactly who you are and who you've been hiding. Okay, so this is that type of energy for you, okay? Then around February 17th, are going to be having this life-changing and transformational solar eclipse in Aquarius. And this is going to be happening in your transformational house of the 8th house, right? Of shared resources, shared finances, intimate bonds, intimate connections, how you deal with change and vulnerability, right? And so this is going to be a time where the universe is going to reset this area of life, right? Where it's going to reset the power dynamics between you and others. It's going to reset the power dynamics between you and shared resources between you and other people. And so this is going to be quite a transformative time for you within how you deal with that, how you open yourself up to that, right? And it's going to require you to be a bit more authentic in what you expect within your close bonds, your close connections, what you want for yourself within your business partnerships, your love relationships, your romantic partnerships, your friendships. And it's going to, like I said, require you to be authentic about that, okay? Then you are also going to then be having a Neptune transit into your 10th house, all right? Around the 20th of February, this is going to be happening for you, and it's going to join up with that Saturn making a conjunction in your 10th house, which I feel is one of the most prevalent conjunctions that are going to be happening in your sky to date, okay? Because you've got a Neptune at the apex of your chart, which is really asking that you step into your divinely ordained role in this lifetime, okay? This is a time where you are meant to bring your dreams into reality as far as your career goes. It's a time to dream big, but in dreaming big, do know that all you have to do is the initial Saturn Aries work of you getting up, going after it, being bold, being brave, and you can make your dreams a reality at this time with this Neptune transit to the 10th house. And you may find that through doing this, you step into a little bit more of a spiritually aligned role for yourself, right? A role where you are able to feel like you were destined and called and created to do it, all right? But it just requires a little bravery on your part. It requires a little action on your part, and it requires a little bit of emotional mastery, which is always the case for you, you being a Cancer, rising, sun, or moon. Okay, so this is quite an exciting time for you. Your mantra, I love to leave everyone with a little bit of a mantra, you know, for the month ahead. And yours is going to be, I claim my power and lead with integrity and boldness. Okay, so this is going to be for you, my Cancer risers, suns, and moons. I'm wishing you all the best, much prosperity and abundance. You get out there, you do it, give it all you got. Show your spirit, show your heart, and the world will respond. I promise you. Okay, so you take care and be blessed. Bye. For my Leo risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. I'm excited to be bringing you the mid-month forecast for the month ahead, okay? This is going to be a very critical month for you because you are going to be having some very life-changing transits that are happening in this very month, okay? And so I'm excited to really break these things down for you because do know that the transits that are happening for you are not just going to be happening in February, but they're going to jumpstart a new cycle for you that is going to be transpiring for you for the next really 15 years ahead. And so I'm excited to be breaking down the story that is going to be transpiring for you within this month and beyond, okay? Because this is gonna be, I feel like, a month and a time where you are meant to kind of choose commitment over illusion, okay? And so there's gonna be a lot of energy through these transits that are gonna be building that story for you, and I'm excited to kind of dive a little bit deeper for you to let you know what that's gonna be for you, okay? So first and foremost, do know that you're gonna be having this incredibly karmic Saturn entering into your Aries 9th house of your belief systems, your philosophies, your worldview, you know, your purpose in life. And do know that this is going to be a time where you are being asked to commit to new belief systems, or, you know, a new educational journey for yourself, or even like a long-term direction for yourself is being carved out. And in order for you to go down that direction, or to believe in the new things that you are believing in, or to step into an authority as someone that is meant to teach or guide others, it's going to require a little bravery. It's going to require a little action on your end. It's going to require a little boldness, okay? So do that. That's what Saturn wants of you. And as I expressed before, the Saturn isn't just going into your 9th house in February and then it leaves. No, this is going to be a journey of 3 years for you. Okay. So this is going to be a time where you are meant to work at becoming a little bit more of an authority within the things that you believe in, within the purpose that you pursue, within your educational pursuits, within your wisdom, your personal philosophies. And so in you working at this area of life, do know that when this 3 years is up, you are going to find yourself in a new empowered state around these themes of life. All right. You will find that after this 3 years is up, should you have been doing the work, you may find yourself in a new space or area in the world, right? Where you are living, where you are thriving. You may find yourself a little bit more of an authority of thought, of, you know, communication, where you are expressing your philosophies or teaching others or guiding others, right? Or you just may find that you are a little bit more empowered in what you believe in moving forward, spiritually, philosophically, politically, you know. So this is going to be that time for you where that Saturn is coming in and asking you to get very serious about this area of life. All right. Now, moving forward, you are going to find a little bit later in the month that there's just going to be this new chapter unfolding. Okay. You're going to be having a solar eclipse in Aquarius in your 7th house. So this is a very critical time, okay? This looks like a time where you are finding new friends, finding new organizations, finding new partnerships, because this is a moment where your partnership world or your social world is going to reset. Okay, this is a big reset around who it is you associate with, who it is you call a friend, who it is you call a lover, right? What it is you want in love. This is going to be that time where the solar eclipse is going to really hit the reset button. And the thing about the eclipse is that it does not ask your permission or your opinion if it should change it, okay? It's going to change it, all right? So do expect for new associations, new friends at this time. You may find that the friends ghost you that you were talking to, you know, or the people that you were with are no longer around, right? Or you may even find a strengthening of bonds and a little bit more clarity in bonds that are rightfully meant for you, all right? Whereas the ones that were misaligned or not as equally yoked may fly by the wayside. Be open to that, okay? This could also bring about new love stories, new romantic endeavors as well can transpire and blossom during this time of a solar eclipse in your Aquarius 7th house. All right, so this is quite an exciting time for you within your social world. It really is, but it requires you to be authentic all across the board with your friends, who you call a friend, your jobs, your lovers. Be authentic, okay? Don't just do it to do it. Do it from a place of this feels right, this feels aligned, this is meant for me, okay? And go down that path, irregardless of what those around you think about it, okay? Now, lastly, you're gonna be having a Neptune transit into your 9th house, joining that Saturn. That already present Saturn is gonna be joined by the nebulous, dreamy, spiritual type of Neptune energy. And this is going to be bringing about a time where you might find that your faith is going to be a little bit tested and then matured, okay? You might find that this is going to be a time of the initial phases of that Neptune moving into your 9th house are going to bring about some disillusionment or some dissolving of old philosophies, some dissolving of old, ways of thinking about the world or thinking about life or your particular spiritual connection. There's going to be a little bit of a dissolving phase, right? But all of this dissolving is going to be a little bit of a renewal where you are meant to then, after it dissolves, after it gets rid of the old program, you're going to feel a little lost, a little kind of like, what do I believe in? How do I see the world? What is my purpose? And then through that, that's where the new program starts to implement itself. That's where you begin to start to say, okay, I don't think I believe in that anymore. I don't think I want to do that anymore. I think I want to do this. And that's where this Saturn conjunct Neptune moment in February 20th is going to be transpiring in your 9th house, where you're going to be finding that you are being asked to walk in your spirited truth, okay, in your spiritual truth, okay? So this is what's being mapped out for you February 20th. I told you this is a doozy, right? This is a very critical month for you, all right? So I'm excited what's on the cards for you. My Leos out there, my Leo risers, my Leo suns, my Leo moons. I would love to leave you with a little bit of a mantra, okay? Your mantra for the month ahead and beyond, because as I said, these transits are not just gonna affect February. Your mantra is going to be, I choose relationships and partnerships and belief systems that support my growth and my true purpose, okay? So without further ado, my Leo risers, I'm wishing you all the best. Much prosperity and abundance. I'm wishing you the next rightful path in your purpose and your ability to be someone that is courageous enough to go after it and to put yourself out there for it in a very aligned way where you get to shine at the same time. Okay, so without further ado, you take care and be blessed. Bye. For my Virgo risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. I'm excited to be bringing you the mid-month forecast for this month ahead and really beyond, okay? Because these critical and life-changing transits that are going to be happening in your sky this month is going to be really reshaping the next 15 years of your life. And so I'm excited to be bringing you the update and the forecast of what this critical moment is going to be offering you at this time, okay? So do know that first and foremost, I feel like the overall energy that I'm getting from your chart and your transits in your sky is that this is going to be a time where you are really meant to be focusing on finding a little bit more of like a sustainable living and a little bit more of like emotional honesty with yourself, okay? Because these things are going to be interlinked. And so these transits that are going to be transpiring are going to kind of be building that story, okay? And so let's go ahead and break all these things down, because first and foremost, around February 13th, you're going to be having a Saturn enter into your Aries 8th house, okay? And so this is the area of your shared resources, your shared finances, this is the area of transformation, taxes, debts. And so with that Saturn moving into your Aries 8th house, this is a time to get serious about those things. This is a time where the universe and Saturn is going to be asking you to get very serious about your taxes, very serious about your debts, very serious about how you share resources between you and a lover, you and a partner, business partner, you and other people in general, okay? So this is a time to really confront any financial issues or emotional dependency issues or any shared resources issues, any taxes or debts. Is a time for you to put on a brave face and to attack these things head on, okay? So this is that time for you. Later in the month, you're then going to be having this solar eclipse in Aquarius, okay, which is going to be a very kind of soul shifting and life path kind of change for you, because with these eclipses, they don't ask for your permission. They do not ask for your opinion. They just change things. And this energy of the solar eclipse in Aquarius is going to be happening in your 6th house of your routine. And so around February 17th, you're going to be finding that your work, your health, your job, your daily routines are going to be up for a little bit of a reset, okay? This solar eclipse is going to hit the reset button. It's going to upright you and transform you and move you into a new direction as far as it relates to how you handle your work, how you handle your health, how you handle your daily routines, okay? And it's not going to ask for your permission. It just is what it's going to be, okay? And so you might find that through this, a new lifestyle structure starts to take root. It starts to take form for yourself, all right? And it's going to fit your most authentic person. It may give you a little bit more autonomy. It may give you a little bit more freedom, or it may require you to approach your day-to-day from a little bit more of a unique, unconventional tone or nature, okay? So that is what's going to be on the cards for you. Now, lastly, in your sky, you're going to be having this Neptune transit to your 8th house, okay? It's going to join up with Saturn here, which is, remember, Saturn is already doing its work, forcing you to become a little bit more serious about how you handle your change, how you handle transformation, how you handle your taxes, your debts. And then Neptune is going to come up right behind it around February the 20th, and they're going to make a conjunction. And this is going to be here. Neptune is going to stay and remain in this 8th house for the next 14, 15 years, okay? So that you had better get used to this very nebulous energy around how you closely relate with others, how you share money with others, you know, the close connections that you have with people, the money you share with people. Be very careful for the next 15 years to not be too giving or to be, you know, too nebulous or to be too hopeful, all right? But at the same time, you're still meant to merge, okay? Because that is what you must do. Now, you may also find that illusions and intimate bonds and shared resources start to dissolve, right? Certain things you start to wake up to certain things, if that makes sense, with this Neptune and Saturn conjunction in your 8th house, okay? So this is quite a doozy, right? I'm telling you, this mid-month forecast is no joke. These transits are going to be quite life-changing, right? And it's going to really set up the next 15 years for you within life, all right? So I would love to leave you with a little bit of a mantra to help you align yourself to not only this month, but beyond. Your mantra is going to be, I create stability through conscious choices, okay? This is what's going to be on the cards for you. And I'm wishing you all the best, all right? So let me know if there are any unique points or planets within your 8th house and within your 6th house. And if you write that in the comments below, I'll let you know exactly what could be on the cards for you. But without further ado, I am wishing you all the best, a sustainable routine, a better lifestyle for yourself, something that feels a little bit more authentic to you within your workspace or how you get your work done, okay? And a little bit more responsibility, structure, and bravery within how you handle your taxes, your debts, and how you share money between you and other people, a lover, a friend, family, and a business partner. And I'm wishing you all the best, okay? You take care. Bye. For my Libra risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. I'm excited to be bringing you the mid-month forecast for this month ahead, okay? There's some very life-changing and critical transits that are going to be happening in your sky this month that are going to really reshape the next 15 years of your life. So these transits aren't just going to impact February, but they're going to reshape the next, you know, path and the next chapter of your life moving forward. And so I'm really excited to be bringing these things down for you and like breaking them up for you and letting you know what's on the cards for you, because this does look like quite a time for you, my Libra risers, suns, and moons, where mature love and authentic joy are going to be the focus. Okay, and so let's go ahead and break these things down. Okay, so first and foremost, do know that you are going to be having a Saturn entering your Aries 7th house. Okay, and so this is going to be a time that when Saturn goes into your 7th house, this is a time for you to get serious about your social life, serious about your social world. Okay, this is a time where you're going to be finding that your relationships become a bit more mature, a bit more serious, a bit more committed, right? You're also going to be finding that commitments or already present commitments could be tested a little bit, right? This may even be the time where you're meant to stand up for yourself a little bit more within your relationships, okay? So this is going to be quite a karmic moment for you within your destiny around relationships, okay? Now, that's going to be happening February 13th. Now, also, you're going to be having this new life-changing solar eclipse in Aquarius that's going to be transpiring in your 5th house, okay, of romance, of creativity, of your passion projects, of children if you want them or have them. And so when it comes to these solar eclipses, do know that they do not ask for your permission, okay? They just make it happen, okay? They will really shift things for you. They will put you in the direction in which you need to be in, and it's going to be something that is meant to serve your most authentic way of expressing that area of life, it being in Aquarius. And this is all around how you relate to romance, how you relate to your creativity, your joy, your hobbies, your play in life, your joy in life. And this is going to be a time where through this solar eclipse, all of those things are going to be hitting the reset button. This is going to be a time where you are being asked to really get serious and really get passionate about your passion projects, your creativity, your talent, your joy, your romantic world, right? You may even find that with this solar eclipse and with this Saturn transit to your 7th house, new love springs to life, okay? That it comes into your life at this time, okay? So this is quite a moment for you, okay? If you are already in a loving, committed relationship, you may find that it goes a little bit deeper, or that it comes up for review a little bit, where you may need to rework the parameters a little bit, okay? So this is what's going to be seen. And then lastly, you're going to be having a Neptune join your Saturn in Aries in your 7th house around the 20th of February, which is going to be asking for you to allow the fantasies around how you've been dealing with relationships to kind of fall away a little bit, all right? This is also going to be a time where true partnerships and clarities are going to be where like true partnership requires clarity and boundaries, okay? This is going to be that time for you where you are going to have to lift the veil a little bit, lift the illusion a little bit, and rework the paradigm around how you relate or how you approach love, how you approach relationships. This is going to be that time for you, okay? So, and then through that, you will find that should you work at those boundaries, should you work at reworking that paradigm, should you work at becoming a bit more mature within your social life or within your love and romantic world, you will find that within 3 years, this really reshapes everything that you have known to be your relationship world. This may be the time where my Libras out there go from single to being married, or single to being in a relationship, or going from marriage to being not married. You know, it's going to really change your path within your social life, within your partnerships, and it's going to require you to get a little bit much more mature in how you handle them and establishing healthier boundaries within them, or strengthening the bonds within them, or all 3 of those things, okay? So that's what's going to be on the cards for you. As I said before, this is a very critical month, right? It's not just something that's happening in February, but it's going to be happening for the next 3 years and then 15 years beyond that. So this is a launching pad for all of that beautiful energy to be taking place. A lot of changes, a lot of transformations are happening for you within your social life, within your romantic endeavors, okay? And so I would love to leave you with a little bit of a mantra, okay? Your mantra is going to be, I allow love to be both joyful and grounded, okay? That honor me, that respect me, okay? So without further ado, I'm wishing you all the best, much prosperity and abundance. You take care and be blessed. Bye. For my Scorpio risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. This is quite a critical month for you, and I'm excited to be bringing you the mid-month forecast, because these transits that are going to be happening in your particular sky at this time are going to not only reshape February, but it's going to be the launching pad to how you deal with the next 15 years of your life. And the story that's being displayed at this time for you is going to be all about you being someone that is building emotional and physical stability moving forward for yourself. And so these transits that are happening right now are kind of putting that story into place. And so I'm excited to break it down bit by bit to show you where these things are happening for you, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. First and foremost, around February 13th, you're going to be having a Saturn entering into your Aries 6th house. The 6th house being the area of your work, your routines, your day-to-day habits, your health, okay? And so with Saturn moving into your Aries 6th house, this is going to be a time where the universe is asking you to get very serious within how you approach this area of life. You know, you becoming a little bit more responsible, okay? You becoming a little bit more structured, a little bit more disciplined within how you are approaching your day, within how you structure your routines, within how you apply yourself within your daily habits or your fitness regimen. You know, this is going to be that time where seriousness and maturity are being asked of you at this time as to how you take care of yourself and how you take care of your day-to-day chores and duties, okay? You might also find with Saturn moving into the 6th house that like your responsibilities just increase in general, right? A lot more responsibility is placed on you at work, or a lot more duties are asked of you within your daily life, right? For whatever reason, this is what's going to be on the cards for you, okay? Now, you are also going to be finding that this discipline is going to be a big key word for you, okay? Discipline is going to be meant for you in order to maintain a good physical vitality and health for yourself moving forward. You may come to find that for, you know, the next 3 years, because as I said, these transits aren't just going to affect February. This Saturn is going to be here for the next 3 years. And so you might find that for the next 3 years, you are going to need to become a very disciplined within how you're eating, how you're working out, what you are putting into your body, what you are showing up for within your day-to-day, okay? And it needs to be something that is a little bit more serious, a little bit more mature. You're going to come to find that you can't eat what everybody else eats, or you got to take care of your health, all right? So this is what's going to be on the cards for you. Now, moving forward, you're going to be having a solar eclipse in Aquarius that's going to be happening on February 17th in your 4th house of home, family, and your inner emotional world. So with this solar eclipse, do know that solar eclipses do not ask for your permission, okay? They don't ask for your take on it. They don't ask for your permission. Solar eclipses just kind of scoop you up and set you where it wants you to be, okay? And so you might find some unexpected or unconventional themes may happen around your home life, okay? This is a reset button around how you show up for your family, how you show up for your home life, you know, where it is you're living, you know, home, family, and your inner emotional foundation are gonna hit the reset button. It's all going to be hitting a big reset button, and it's going to require you to step into your authenticity within how you relate to those things. You may come to find that, you know what, the role I've been carrying in my family, I don't want to carry that role anymore. I am this in my family now, and that's what they're just going to have to deal with it, you know, or this isn't the lifestyle or the home that I want to live in anymore. I want to live this way now, and that's going to require a certain amount of authenticity and unconventionality and invention on your end, okay, in order for you to find that emotional satisfaction that you crave as far as it relates to home for yourself, okay? So do expect outside influences to kind of hit the reset button for you, and it's going to force you down that path, okay, of you living a different way, you resetting the role that you carry in your family, you being someone that may find a different unconventional route towards you satisfying your emotional well-being, your emotional foundation is what's going to be happening through this solar eclipse in Aquarius. And this is, like I said, going to be happening around February 17th. Now, later on in the month, at the tail end of the month, around February 20th, Neptune is going to join forces with the already present Saturn in your 6th house in Aries, which is going to be asking you to really get a little bit more compassionate within how you handle your day, right? So initially you got that Saturn that's going to come in and make you a little militant, a little serious, a little disciplined around how you attack your day, what you show up for on your day-to-day, your routines and things of that nature. But then Neptune is going to come in and soften it a little bit, thankfully, right? And so you may find that this may be the time where you may want to work smarter and not harder, or where you're being asked to implement more spiritually holistic, compassionate tools to help you within your health or within your routines. You may find that, okay, I don't want to work in the same way that I've been working anymore. I want to do something a bit more creative. I want to do something a bit more spiritually aligned. I want to do something a little bit more healing in the way that I take care of myself or in the routines that I carry. Maybe I don't want to do cardio 7 days a week. Maybe I want to do yoga 7 days a week. You see, you're going to be blending the compassionate nature, the soulful nature, the spiritual nature to your routines so that you offer yourself a little bit more peace and soul alignment in this area of life. And that's going to come out within your regimen, within the work that you do, within the job that you hold, the title that you carry, the food that you eat, the routines that you carry. Okay, so this is what's going to be asked of you at this time. Okay, so this is quite a month, right? Like I said, February 2026 is no joke, and it all is kind of jam-packed in the mid-month, all right? And so I'm excited to kind of prepare you for what is gonna not only impact this mid-month, but it's gonna be a 15-year story beyond this, okay? And this is just the launching pad. And so to prepare your spirit, to prepare your mind, I would love to leave you with a little bit of a mantra. Your mantra for the month ahead is going to be, I build safety through structure and care. Okay, that's going to be your mantra from this moment onward, okay? And so without further ado, I'm wishing you all the best. I'm wishing you much self-care, you know, much honesty within how you approach your inner emotional world, your personal needs for yourself, how it is you want to live, how it is you see your living situation in life, the role you carry within your family, and how you take care of yourself on the day-to-day. I'm wishing you much authenticity and care and compassion moving forward, okay? And so without further ado, I'm wishing you all the best, much prosperity and abundance. You take care and be blessed. Bye. For my Sagittarius risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. I'm excited to be bringing you the mid-month forecast for this month ahead and really beyond, okay? Because this is going to be a month that has some very critical and life-changing transits within it that are going to be springboarding like the next 15 years of your life, okay? So what happens in this month is very critical, and I feel like, you know, with the story that is being played out in your sky at this time, this is all gonna be around a time where you're meant to get intentional around your self-expression and your joy in life, okay? Your happiness, okay? Your ability to let your hair down is gonna be something that is a pressing issue for you, ironically enough, okay? And so let's go ahead and break this down, because these transits are all kind of putting this story together and helping you out with that overall assignment at this time, okay? And so first and foremost, you are going to be having this Saturn entering into your Aries 5th house around February 13th, okay? And with this Saturn moving into Aries in your 5th house, do know that this is the house of your creativity, your romantic life, your joy, your play, your children if you want them or have them. And this is going to be a time where you are being asked to commit yourself a little bit deeper to your ability to have fun, to find joy, to create, to find a hobby, to find a skill that sparks and induces joy within you, okay? And so this is the time where you're meant to get serious about that, ironically enough. You know, within all of my readings, it's so funny that you are the only zodiac sign that I'm telling you to get serious about having fun, right? And so that's what's going to be on the cards for you, is that this is a moment where you're meant to get serious about your dating life, getting serious about letting your hair down, going out, having a drink, socializing, playing, right? This is that time for you, all right? And for you, you might be like, oh, fine, right? But that's just what's on the cards for you. And this is going to be a 3-year story. Like I said, the transits that happen now are not going to just leave in February. No, this Saturn moving into your Aries 5th house is going to be here for the next 3 years. And do know that should you work at this area, right? Should you put yourself out there for love and prioritize your dating life and prioritize your joy and the things that spark joy within you, you may find that if you are single at this time, this may be the time that you find someone through you immersing yourself into a hobby or immersing yourself into something fun. You may meet your partner through this, okay? You may also find that this could be a time that if you have a little bit more fun and romance, you may find that you conceive children at this time with this energy, right? This is a very, very critical moment for you as far as it relates to your joy, your happiness, your romantic life and endeavors, and your children if you want them or have them. Deeper commitments are being asked of you in this area of life as it relates to those themes. Now, later in the month, you're going to be having this very, very soul-shifting and life-changing solar eclipse in Aquarius, and that's going to be happening in your 3rd house of communication and your mindset and how you express yourself and, you know, some of your learning abilities and your learning paths. And so do know that this is going to be an area that really transforms without your permission, okay? The thing about the transits or this transit of the solar eclipse is that it's going to do it without your permission, okay? This may be a time where outside influences may force you down the path of you choosing a more authentic way of expressing yourself, a more authentic way of getting your point across, a more authentic way of communicating and dealing with the people around you in your immediate environment, like your neighbors, your siblings, the people out on the street. You know, this is a time where you are meant to step into your uniqueness in this area of life. So connect, express, and like I said, whether you want to or not, the universe is going to kind of do it for you. All right, you may even find that this could be shaping out a new story around, maybe you're moving into a new neighborhood, maybe you are taking up a new class, taking up a new course, maybe you are having to speak out a little bit more, like without your permission, right? The universe will do what it needs to do to kind of get that out of you, all right? To get that to be expressed out in your life. So do expect that, okay? Now, later in the month, the tail end around February 20th, Neptune is going to join Saturn in your 5th house, which is going to be asking you to, you know, take your passions a little bit more seriously. You may also find that this is going to be the time where your passions, your play in life, your romantic world kind of take on a little bit more of a nebulous and spiritual tone, all right? Maybe you don't just want to play. Maybe you want to take up a hobby or a skill, or take up an interest in something that feels a little bit more spiritually aligned, or something that feels a little bit more healing, or something a little bit more creative, right? That's going to be the tone that strikes. Or even within your love and romantic life, you may find that you're just not going to date. Maybe you want to date people that feel like they are destined and called and created to be in your life, okay? Or you want more spiritually aligned connections moving forward with this energy. But do watch out for fantasy. Do watch out for illusion, okay? Do watch out for that, because Neptune going into the 5th house, although it will offer you incredible inspiration, right? Incredible, you know, soulfully aligned gifts and soulfully aligned interests, do watch out for nebulousness and illusion around romance and around others, okay? So watch out for that. That's just my only warning with this energy, okay? But it does look like with the Saturn conjunct Neptune transit that will be happening on February 20th, that dreams become a bit of a reality if you work at them in the area of your dating life, your romantic world, and children if you want them or have them, okay? So this is quite a doozy of a month, right? Like, this mid-month is not playing, and it's all this concentrated energy within a span of like a few days. And so that's why I kind of had to wait to do this forecast, because the meat of everything happening in February is right here in the middle, all right? And so I would love to leave you with a little bit of a mantra that you will carry out through February and beyond, because as I said before, these transits are happening not only in February, but they will be here for the next 15 years. And so for you, your mantra is going to be, I honor my creativity with discipline, okay? I honor my ability to find joy in life with a little bit of discipline and spiritual alignment, okay? So without further ado, my Sagittarius friends, I'm wishing you all the best, much prosperity and abundance, much play, get out there, show your bright colors, express yourself, do your thing, smile more, have fun, it's okay, all right? You take care and be blessed. Bye. For my Capricorn risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. I'm excited to be bringing you the astrological forecast for this month ahead and really beyond, because here in February 2026, do know that there are going to be some life-changing transits that are transpiring in your sky, and they're not going to only affect February, but they're going to really change the trajectory of your next 15 years for you in life, okay? And so I'm excited to be bringing you the focus here and to be breaking some things down for you, because what I feel overall in your sky happening at this time is that this is a time and a moment where you are meant to build inner security before you find outer security. And these transits that are being put together at this time in your sky are kind of mapping out that story. They're kind of building that overall tone for you. And so I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you right now. And so let's go ahead and get into it. So first and foremost, do know that around February 13th, you're going to be having a Saturn entering into your Aries 4th house. All right. And with Saturn moving into your house of your home, family, inner emotional world, do know that this is going to be a time where family and home life demands, it's going to require a little bit more structure of you at this time, right? Your home life is going to require a little bit more seriousness. It's going to require you to get little bit more serious about your inner emotional world and your inner emotional foundation. And it's going to require structure, okay? It can't just be something that's willy-nilly. That's something that is a guessing game. This is a time where you are really meant to get serious about your inner emotional world, your inner emotional foundation, to uproot yourself a little bit more, to find a little bit more bravery within your sense of self, right? A little bit more foundation for yourself, a little bit more, you becoming a bit more solid within your core is being asked of you, okay? And so through that, it's also going to ask for you to find that footing and find that foundation and that strength within how you treat the home, within how you treat the family, within your responsibilities within the family, within your responsibilities within the your housing matters, you know, things like that are going to be coming up. Okay, so I see a lot of people out there getting serious about their living situation. I see a lot of my Capricorn risers out there establishing their role within their family, what they will put up with, what they won't put up with anymore. You know, it's going to be those types of things. Their family may also, I see a lot of people or a lot of Capricorn risers out there finding that their family needs them a bit more, okay? Or it just requires, or you need you a little bit more, right? You need a little bit more emotional resilience or a little bit more emotional healing. And so this is going to be the time where that happens for you, okay? And as I said before, these are critical transits this month. And this isn't just going to be something that's happening this month. This is going to be a 3-year journey moving forward, okay? So this is going to be a time where this is going to be happening slowly but surely over the course of 3 years, okay? And so do know that should you work at this area of life of housing matters and family responsibilities and home life responsibilities and your inner emotional world, taking responsibility for your inner emotional world, you will find that you come out on the other side of this completely and totally empowered, okay? And strengthened in this area of life, successful in this area of life. You will have a roof over your head. You will have inner emotional resilience, inner emotional strength and bravery, okay? And so do the work. Okay, now moving forward, you're going to be having a solar eclipse happening in your Aquarius second house of finances. Okay, and this is also going to be, I feel like, kind of piggybacking off of this fourth house energy, because with the solar eclipse here, this is going to be hitting the reset button around your money, your finances, your income, your security in life, right? And you might find that through this solar eclipse, you forge a new path forward within how you make money, or you might find that a new income path emerges for yourself. With the solar eclipse, do know that these are more external forces, right? The eclipse is going to do something externally that kind of forces you down the path of authenticity within how you make your money with this transit, okay? And you might find that you really are meant to kind of reshape your self-worth or reshape your ideals or your values in order for you to find new money for yourself or new security for yourself through this solar return. And that's going to happen through external events. You know, you might find that something goes on with the job, something happens with someone around you, something's happening in life that is forcing you to confront this area of your money, your self-worth, your stability, and some income paths, okay? So this is what's being expressed at this time. Now, moving forward in the tail end of the month, you are gonna be having that Neptune join forces with your Saturn in Aries in your fourth house, which is gonna have you finding that some emotional like foundations are going to dissolve and rebuild. This is a rebuilding phase for you. I really feel like this is a time where you're reshaping your core, your inner sense of self, and how you relate to the family, how you relate to the home, how you relate to your inner emotional world. And so you're going to be finding that this is going to be offering, of course, it's more nebulous and spiritual tone, but this is going to be kind of like a spiritual journey for you. It's going to be funny how family, you finding more outer support through the home life and through the family life and where you're meant to live, how you're meant to live, how you're meant to support yourself is going to be a bit of a spiritual journey. Okay, this is going to be a spiritual time for you. And what I highly suggest is implementing more spiritual techniques. You know, prayer could be good for you at this time. Yoga could be good for you at this time. Anything that kind of connects you and your emotional state to something bigger than yourself is going to be your best bet. Okay, so that is what is being asked of you at this time. Okay, so this looks like quite a emotional moment, and should you get your emotions in check, should you fortify your innards, should you fortify and strengthen and solidify your emotional center, you will find that the outer world reflects this. Your home life will reflect this. Okay, so this is what's on the cards for you. And so I would love to leave you with a little bit of a mantra that's not only going to align you to February 2026, but that's also going to align you to the next 15 years of your life. Okay, and so your mantra for this month ahead is going to be, I deserve stability that matches my inner peace. Okay, this is what is going to be on the cards for you. All right, so without further ado, I'm wishing you all the best, much prosperity, abundance, much comfort and safety in life, and you take care and be blessed. Bye. For my Aquarius risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. I'm excited to be bringing you the mid-month forecast for this month ahead. Now, do know that this is going to be a very critical time in your sky, because the transits that are happening right now are not just going to impact February, but they're going to really reshape and set the tone for the next 14, 15 years ahead. Okay, and so I'm excited to be breaking down what's going to be happening for you, because overall, what I feel like is going to be happening for you now moving forward is going to be you owning your voice, owning your presence moving forward. And these transits, although critical, are going to be working together to reshape or build that story for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and break it down. So first and foremost, you're going to be having the Saturn entering into your Aries third house around February 13th. And this is going to be asking you to really get intentional and serious and responsible with how you speak, with the voice that you carry, with the words that you offer. This is a time to get intentional. This is a time to get serious. This is a time to get deliberate around how you connect with those around you, okay? And so you might find that during this time, your voice is going to carry a certain amount of weight, a certain amount of responsibility, okay? You're also going to be finding that communication becomes something that is central to who you are and the weight that you carry in this lifetime, okay, moving forward. And should you get serious about this, as I said before, these transits are not just going to impact now, they impact the future. And so you will find that this Saturn, the 3 years that it's going to be here, should you work at becoming a little bit more intentional with your words, becoming someone that, you know, people can respect that what you say, you're going to be finding that you come out of this phase completely empowered within your voice, you know, within your throat box, within what knowledge that you carry, what opinions that you hold. Okay, so this is quite a defining moment for you. Okay, moving forward a little later in the month, around February 17th, you're going to be having this solar eclipse in Aquarius, and that's going to be happening in your first house of self. And so this is going to be a big personal rebirth. Okay, this is going to be an identity shift. This is going to be a life directional reset for yourself. Okay, this is going to be a time where you are meant to step into your authority, to step into your uniqueness, to step into your brilliance, and to allow your authenticity to shine forward. And the thing about the solar eclipses is that they don't ask for your permission. They kind of use external forces to push you down that path where you're going to just be kind of thrust into it, right? Where you're like, this is me. I guess I got to just figure it out along the way now, right? Like, this is that moment where your personal identity is definitely going to change. This is a rebirth moment for you, okay? So utilize it to the best of your ability. This is a time for you to shine in all of your unique glory. Moving forward, lastly, at the tail end of the month, around February 20th, you're going to be having that Neptune join forces with that Saturn in your third house. And it's going to be a time where you are going to feel a little inspired, right? Your voice, your opinions, your ideas, your mindset may take on a little bit more of a spirited tone, a spiritual tone, a compassionate tone. You know, this may be the time where you start to get a little creative in the mind, a little bit more spiritually sound in the mind, and you may struggle to in its initial phases, you may struggle with offering that, speaking that, getting others to understand what you're putting down, right? But thankfully that Saturn is joining forces with that Neptune, which is going to offer you the groundedness that is needed in order for others to receive the creative way that you are getting your point across, or the spiritual way in which you are offering your opinions. You see, this is going to be that time for you. So do ensure that although you are becoming a little bit more inspired, a little bit more spirited in your words, do make sure that you are finding a little bit more grounding, okay? And that you are speaking with clarity, not confusion, okay? So try to ground your words. Try to really think before what you say, because what you are going to be saying is going to be quite profound, right? So that's what's going to be on the cards for you. What I will say with the Saturn and Neptune transit to your third house, though, is that you might find that it can be hard to connect with the siblings and neighbors. Okay, it can be hard, but you must work a little harder, okay, to connect. All right, so that is what can be seen. Now, what I would love to do is I would love to leave you with a little bit of a mantra, okay, to align yourself to not only February, but for the next 15 years for yourself, okay? And your mantra is going to be, I step into my next chapter with authority and a clear voice, okay? With a clear opinion, all right? So that's going to be your mantra. I'm wishing you all the best. I want you to shout from the mountaintops, my Aquariuses, all right? You've got a unique spirit, a unique insight, and you are a leader. And it is only through your voice that you will be able to lead. It is only through your opinions that you will be able to lead. And this is the defining moment in this chapter of your life where you must show who you are, where you must do that through the insight that you carry within you, okay? So without further ado, I'm wishing you all the best, much prosperity and abundance. You take care and be blessed. Bye. For my Pisces risers, suns, and moons, happy February 2026. This is going to be your mid-month forecast for the month ahead, and this is going to be a very, very critical month for you because you've got some very, very life-changing transits that are going to be transpiring in your sky that are not only going to affect February, but they're going to really set the tone for the next 15 years in your life, okay? And so I'm excited to break down the story of what's transpiring for you because overall, what I feel is going to be the tone and the assignment for you with these transits are going to be all about you grounding faith into material reality for you, right? Really just bringing your dreams into reality, bringing your visions out into the material world is what's going to be asked of you. And through these transits that are happening now, this is all being orchestrated. This is all like kind of putting the puzzle pieces together to make that an eventual reality for yourself, okay? So let's go ahead and break it down, all right? So first and foremost, you are going to be having this Saturn entering into your Aries second house around February 13th, okay? And so with this energy, do know that this is going to be a time where you are meant to get serious about your self-worth, about your values, around your ability to be self-sufficient, and your money, okay? This is a time where your money and your self-worth require you to be a little bit more mature moving forward, for you to not, beat yourself up, or to not be someone that feels you can't do it alone, because you can. Okay, this is a time for you to uproot yourself in your values, to uproot yourself in your self-confidence, and to get some of that scarcity mindset out of the way. You can do it. You have been doing it, okay? And you will do it moving forward. And I promise you, this transit of Saturn moving into your second house is going to be here for the next 3 years. Remember what I said, these transits are not just going to affect February, they are affecting February and beyond, and this Saturn is going to be here for the next 3 years. And should you work at this area of your self-worth, should you work at this area of finding security and money for yourself, and putting yourself out there forward in a way where you are bold, where you are a leader, where you trust in your abilities, you're going to be finding that you come out of this transit super empowered in this area of life, where money doesn't scare you anymore, where you don't fear money or security or your ability to make it, all right? You will come out completely empowered in this area of life, okay? So that is what's going to be transpiring with that transit. Now, moving on a little later in the month, around, I'd say February 17th, you're going to be having this incredibly life-changing solar eclipse where it's going to be hitting the reset button around your spiritual nature, around your subconscious dealings, okay? This is going to be a time where a big karmic ending is wrapping up and it's going bye-bye. You're meant to learn from this moment. All right, learn from any of the karmic lessons around this area of life for you, or releasing like old identities, old cycles, old pain, old stories, old timelines. They're all wrapping up with a bow at this time, okay? This is a complete karmic ending. And you might find that external forces kind of force this to happen for yourself, or you just might wake up during this time and you might find that, okay, what used to be a weight on my shoulders or a chip on my shoulder, or what used to feel like pain isn't pain anymore. It's now a lesson, So, and that's going to also fortify a little bit more of your authentic expression within your spiritual nature, within your spiritual connection, within what you believe in, within how you connect to source and, God and the universe. Okay, so this is quite an exciting time for you. quite an enlightening time for you, okay? Now, lastly, you are then going to be having Neptune join Saturn in your second house, where this is going to be a time where old illusions and illusions around security kind of dissolve a little bit, and you're meant to kind of sow in new dreams around your money, around how you make it, how you build real value, what you truly value moving forward. You may come to find that you value a bit more peace, you value spirituality, you value healing, you value compassion, and you may want to implement that in the way that you make money for yourself, okay? So that is what is being offered to you at this time. So I would love to leave you with a little bit of a mantra, because this is quite a life-changing February 2026, all right? And so this is going to be a mantra that not only aligns you to February, but aligns you to February and beyond for the next 15 years. And so your mantra is going to be, I trust myself to create lasting security in life, okay? Trust in yourself, trust in your abilities, trust in your skills, because you have what it takes. With a little physical might and a little spiritual belief, there's nothing that you cannot do, my Pisces risers, all right? So without further ado, I'm wishing you all the best, much prosperity and abundance. You take care and be blessed. Bye.